You can see the civs here. When I saw Berbers was taken first, I was actually quite happy because I was always lining up Dravidians and Vietnamese as my first two. They're two of my favourite civs. So all good there. And then I knew I could throw them onto, as you'll soon see, slopes and high tides. Khmer, Wu, two kind of stranded-ish civs, and Hindustanis, I thought, because it was the last pick of the draft, I just needed a pick that needed to get ammo thinking that I could play. So the strong Campbell Civ is one of those that maybe questions like the Knight play, the Hussars, the Cavalier, and the Naspa. And I thought, you know what, even the Light Cav and the Cavalier here, I thought, you know what, Hindustanis might be one that gets him thinking a little bit, but I was never planning to play them. High Tides was first up, so we'll go have a look at that, and we'll see what action comes along with that. We started off Dravidians, Byzantines. I was expecting Byzantines on Stranded, so I was a bit surprised that it was Byzantines now and not Italians, but we'll go through and see what we got. Alrighty, so Dravidians, Byzantines here. It should also be a best of 3, which is what this... So these are best of 3. And Dravidians. So my plan here, of course, we're up against good trash units, and I thought, alright, well, being able to go skirms is okay. My skirms attack faster. They don't have the discount, the 25% discount, but they do attack faster, which is nice. I also get nice little bonus on the fishing ships as well, which is pretty good. And yeah, I was pretty happy with the immediate start, where I want to only go 5. Ideal world, it's only 5 to food, because I want to be on the zebra as quickly as possible, which you can see there. The timing was pretty much perfect in terms of when I found my zebra to be able to push them in. Because if I go 5 to food, they sustain vil production. I don't need the 6th because you gather faster from the zebra. And then I can get to wood earlier, which means I can get to my dock earlier, which means I get the fishing ships out earlier, which means I got more eco earlier. So let's see how this goes. And I knew about these 2 sheep, I think. I knew where I needed to go collect them. You can see I'm also trying to just move my sheep around at the start. Now, in Ammo's case, we're soon about to find out here, there was a decision on not to dock. So, Ammo, not really a water player, and just wanted to play this as a land map. Which makes me very happy that I banned Mongols. And he also banned Khitans, which I found interesting because I was actually going to leave Khitans open. And he's had a little bit of a reset on the deer there. I was going to leave Khitans open, hoping I could sneak them myself. But he did have first pick, which meant he could have left it open and taken them. But not to be. Now, how's this for... I feel like this is unlucky. We're about to see something that feels very unlucky here. And I'm not going to be talking about my Vil that's about to die. But it is about my scouting on the fishing ship. So I wasn't really looking here. So I get this deep sea fish, I guess. But then I think after that, look at how open. You just see absolutely nothing here. And I was going up 20 Vils. So I am screwed now because I'm getting loom and this Vil's going to die. And I was just like, well, this Vil's dead. I'm just going to fight it. Anyway, not to be. But hey, I went up 0 idle, 5 seconds idle time. Aside from losing the Vil, I was happy. I was like, whatever, that Vil's gone. I just got to be smarter with my dock. And actually put it somewhere where I can wall it in. So, should have kept going a bit higher. I was slow on the dock. Because just of the ways, there's so much walking time to get out there and everything. And I just thought I'd just drop the dock when I first found a shorefish. And it was a mistake, but that's okay. It is what it is. Probably could have dropped the dock here, actually, and it would have had a nice wall off too. So one to think about. I've been practicing a Man-at-Arms hybrid build, so I thought, you know what? Let's go forward with the Man-at-Arms, get Man-at-Arms, get a Spearman, because I had seen the stable, and he didn't go with any... He didn't go with the dock, so I knew that he was playing just pure land stable. And you could see the res collector difference as well. And yeah, I had my Man-at-Arms forward, and we're about to see if there's any good value here for them. I knew I wanted to go around. He's trying to get his quick walls in. He's trying to get some big walls in, actually. I'm quite open back at home. He's got 4 scouts that are going forward. I'm just going to tap on the lumber camp here. I do have a couple of spearmen at home, but we're about to see if there's any value. So he's coming forward now. I think there might be... Oh, there's a weak fill there. That's a bit sloppy of me. So he's going to get some kills here for sure. That's 2 eco kills. So Amo's had actually a pretty nice start. And there's a third one. So that's certainly not a flash beginning for me. And then even here, I didn't get the walls down properly, which is a bit dumb again. So I'm actually going to lose another villager. And I've had a fair bit of idle time. So this is not... Okay, this went from a good start into a bad start. But now, I also, at the same time, I got in on his wood line. It was an overchop, and I got in. So, just a few little things going on there. So, I get my 3 kills back. I've, of course, got some fishing ships as well. And it's kind of settled out. He's lost his scouts now. I'm able to keep tapping around, and you can see the eco has kind of leveled out. Got a fair bit on gold, but... I think there was that TTL bronze set between Moray and No Zombie. And that, to me, that just taught me, you know what, if you're heavy on gold, it's okay. Drop a market, and you can get up to Castle Age at a better time anyway. So that's kind of what happens here. I wasn't the slowest on the market. I don't know what happened to these walls that were meant to go up. Instead of like trying to rebalance this, I just thought, whatever. Let's just get a market down. You can see it there, and then I'll buy my way up. And you can see his position. He hasn't gone to gold yet at all. He's about to now. Try and go up. I'm looking around. I kind of run under this, which is a bit silly of me. Scout survives, though. Good little vision here. And my Man-at-Arms will eventually go down. That's the way it is. And I'm coming forward with my spears and skirms here. I just want to keep the map control for the time being. I'm adding some fishing ships because I realize what we've got here. I didn't end up showing it because there were a few other things going on at the time. But my scouting, like, look at how... So this one went, and then I couldn't find anything here. Did not realize there was something. Like, it was just so... It's quite annoying, actually, that I've ended up with where my fishing ships have ended up. This one was scouting to see if he had docked. That's why he's ended up there, but annoying. Anyway, whatever. I've got fish, and they're working away, and you can see the res collecting difference as a result. I use the market, I click up, and I've got a nice timing advantage on the way to the next age, which is really good. And I've realized Byzantines, I don't want to take them late. I want to put some pressure on, and I really, really want to be aggressive here. I know I've got a good eco behind this. Yes, I lost some villagers. Yes, I killed some villagers back. I actually didn't realize it was that, but I knew because I had this, and I was in a really nice spot here, that I had better eco. I was confident that I had better eco here. And we're about to see that I am the first one up, and I'm coming forward with some vills. I want to go immediately into the long swords and the workshop. Workshop on the front, so he's coming forward to attack. I'm glad I sent 2 vills. Many times I take 1 vill and it gets denied. 2 bills this time. Mangonel. Getting the upgrades I need on my soon-to-be longswords. And then I'm going to start my push. See the fishing ship's just really, really adding up now. I'm going to try and break my way through. That's the plan, and see what damage I can get done. You can see the eco situation's really nice. 10 more eco units because of the fishing ships. I'm adding a town center now. He's only 1 TC. I felt good. I think I do let a few... I kind of let the army disappear a little bit here. You can see the Mangonel pops out. I'm going after the blacksmith. I lose my Mangonel. I eat a hit from the Mangonel here before I realise. Just doing a couple of other things, I believe. But I got a longsword mass and he's on skirm, so I can always push him back, which is kind of the plan. Stupidly eat another hit there, just trying to tap away, tap away. Did I get arson as well? I got arson as well. I was like, yeah, this is my main unit, so let's upgrade it whilst I can. Lose another Mangonel. Dropping houses around the sides. I dropped another dock here to help my fishing ships out. You can see still adding fishing ships as well. Adding my town centers and about to go to stone. So thinking about stone, thinking about a castle, knowing that I have got good map control. We're playing the game at his base. So I really want to keep that pressure on. Knowing that, yeah, the skirms can only do so much to my longsword. So if we just have a look. 5 attack on the elite skirm, but I have got, with gambesons, so I got 3 pierce armor. I guess I could get the 4th pierce armor ideally as well, which I don't, which would mean the skirms actually would just do 1 damage a hit. Mangonel's doing some dancing. But at this point, I was kind of just thinking, alright, I just need to get this castle up. I know he's not on this stone, and I know he's not on this stone, so I know he can't drop a castle right now. I don't know if I realized that at the time. 1 for 1 on the Mangonels. Well, actually, I lost 3. I stupidly took my vills away, which is a bit dumb. Then I brought it forward, and now I'm trying to work out where I want to throw this castle. I was like, let's go forward. I wanted to put it there. I was like, no, let's go forward again. Let's go forward again. And I realized once I dived, I was like, alright, I dived with these guys. Did he just buy a whole castle here? He bought 400 stone. He bought... Yeah, that's a lot. That's a big... That is a big purchase here. And now knowing... The immediate thought was, okay, we're in a great spot. Yeah, look at the eco difference, by the way. We got 3 TCs and fish. So it looks really good. Killed some vills when I dived with those longswords. And now I realize I need to get the rangers up because... Actually, look at town patrol, by the way. Look how much you can see. I wanted to get the rangers up because I knew that with the castle, my longswords are kind of useless because cataphracts will come out. So... I thought and of course the halbs become useless, or the pikemen are useless as well. So I was like, okay, let's go. Let's switch into the crossbow. I know that he has skirms, he's teched into skirms already, but I kind of just don't want to lose the units. I can play the longsword, crossbow, or the siege. You can see I'm getting some armored elephants as well. I don't know if they actually got any value in the end. 22 on stone, so I was ready for another one as well. Wanting to go again. But the eco situation is really, really nice here. If we just have a look at the top. I know they're not doing the best stuff, but 15 fishing ships are just going to help tick the food along. And I'm not completely walled up. Surprisingly, I am very open, right? So there was a potential that some counter-attack, some counter-play could have done some work. I think it's a hard map to wall, especially once you expand. And He can see me walking, of course, because Byzantines see everything. And I thought, you know what, let's just jump straight in this. Let's go again. What did I see? I thought there was still more trees here. There wasn't. Bring some of the crossbow around. He's going to send so many villagers to try and build this. But he's got no eco now. And I'm preparing in as well. I was like, let's get this castle down. Let's go to inn. These long swords will go down, but that's fine. I've got my castle up here. Probably could have kept the vills in there for a bit longer, and I was just getting ready to petard, because I was like, okay, we're just petarding this down here. And it didn't matter. The GG was called, so I got the first win on the board, which was quite nice. Was it perfect? No. It was the first time I'd played this map. So some things I would have liked to have done better. A bit more security at home earlier would have been nice. Especially on this Ville, a bit smarter with the fishing. Also would have been good. We didn't have to play the water in the end. But, you know, he let me have the water, which you can't, you really shouldn't do. You really need to just dock. Even if you dock, make 3 fishing ships and let your opponent kill you. It's still better than not doing it. But yeah, that was that. That was the game. The Man-at-Arms, the hybrid Man-at-Arms build, I think was quite smooth at the end of the day. It was only 5 seconds idle time. Got my upgrades when I needed to, which I was happy about. And then my push did enough, and I was able to get some eco out behind it. You can see the Vilg situation was amazing. He was nowhere near clicking. I was about to, and I was probably going to petard this down as well. I wonder if I was going to make a mistake and only make 8 petards, because Byzantines do get more HP on their castles. So, one, we don't know. I was only queued up what I could at the time. Yeah, wonder if I would have picked up on that. But otherwise, that was game number 1. 68 APM, by the way. That is the fastest I've ever seen myself play. So that's crazy. Did not realize I had that speed in me. 27. It's eco APM for me is like, it's always in the 20s. It doesn't need to be that high, but I'm always like fiddling with the eco. I've just learned to add some military APM on top of it now, which is kind of cool. But yeah, some consistently fast speeds, which for me anyway. But yeah, that was game number 1. So we go into game number 2. And I have picked what is my 4th pick Civ, the Wu. Half deliberate. I was always playing the Wu on this map. I just wanted to make him think it was going to be something else. And I'm up against the Italians. Now, the Wu, well, they have not really been played in TTL silver or gold so far. Well, they haven't been played on this map. And I think that's a mistake. And I think I'm going to show you why that's a mistake in the first 5 to 10 minutes of this game. Wu bonuses. First one, extra food when I drop the dock. Awesome. You start with a fishing ship on this map. So you drop the dock, the fishing ship works, and you can see I've already dropped off. What is it? How much extra food do you get? 65 food. You start with, yeah, whatever. So yeah, smooth. Really, really fast. Second bonus, houses build quicker, which means it's a very, very little thing. It's a very minor thing. In fact, I didn't see whose TC went up quicker. I assume his did. Let's have a look. So he built the TC on that wood line. I've seen the pros walk to the gold. There's a gold and a wood line, a thicker wood line, always a bit closer. So I always go to that. And you're going to see this very, very minor thing where because you don't need to build that house. Again, we're talking like 2 seconds here. Because the houses build faster, you don't need to build the house before the town center goes up, or you don't need to leave the town center early to build the house. because you can just drop the town center and then you can build the house on the way up, which is what I've done here. And I shouldn't have any idle time. So there you go. House goes up in 12 seconds instead of 25 seconds. Brilliant. And then, because of the extra food, you can go so heavy with the fishing ships. The TC looks like a beach shack. Yeah, it does. It's quite nice, isn't it? So I actually thought I did this build really, really smoothly. I practiced this a couple of times with the Woo, and I practiced exactly how I wanted to go about the house, the wood, the vills on Rhino situation. There's a bit of force dropping required, but it felt really, really smooth here. You only need to put 3 under the elephant because you're just pumping out fishing ships. He's got 3. You can see the difference with just a few little things that make such a big help here. My dock is just running. No idle time on the TC and no idle time on the dock, and it's just incredibly smooth. Other civs do smooth things as well that have their own little bonuses, whether it's just whatever those bonuses are. There are things out there that are good. There's another civ I've got in mind as well that I haven't seen played yet that I think has got a really nice bonus. But yeah, 6 fishing ships. It just feels so good. And my barracks. This is where some builds can go off a little bit because you got to get a second building, and the second building won't be a mill. So when you're often fast castling, your second building is a mill. So how's this, by the way? This is very frustrating, actually. In his case, it's a lumber camp. So it could be a lumber camp, it could be a mill. Look at what's happened here. I didn't drop any buildings, but my elephant de-aggroed on the water buffalo making contact with it, which was really annoying. So I've had to go back and chase it again, and he's already lost half his HP. I was very, very annoyed by that, because otherwise, this was a really smooth build. I had gone up on 19 vills. I had no idle TC time. I had seven fishing ships. This time he didn't de-aggro, but I now had to worry a little bit because the guy had such low HP. I did have loom now, so I just had to de-aggro myself with the house, which I did. But it would have been nice if it was a touch smoother in regards to, yeah, how this got across. But we got there. And on the way up now, so I get a 7th fishing ship on the way up. So you can see, check out the res collector difference. It's flying. I drop a second dock. I want to bring my fishing ships around this way as well. And 3 on gold. Could be 2 on gold. I think I end up moving 1 off gold. It always feels like when you're on the way up, it's like, I've got 400 food. I'm 30 seconds from feudal age. Shit, this fast castle is not going to work. I don't have the food. But then you look at what's on hand and you go, okay, you start going, okay, there's 130 on hand. He's up first. When I saw him up first, I was like, there's no fast castle here. I don't think you can do it quicker than this, even as the Italians. Range, blacksmith is the plan. I just was a touch short on the wood, but there was no problems there. And you can see how much food's on hand. You can see you can force drop. You probably have to force drop with the fishing ships. But the big thing is 2 vills, bang, bang, and look at this. I'm going to be up. 0 idle time. I don't think I had done that in practice with 0 idle time ever. And that made me very, I was like, this is so good. Minor problem. I haven't practiced this against people, which means I haven't sorted out what my eco distribution needs to be after this. So I kind of made some mistakes after this. But I was very happy with the start. I was very happy that I am now preparing for my Jan Swordsman. And I want to start pressuring his base. I wanted to get the first army Eco buildings for upgrades. Yeah, I think you see me go drop a lumber camp soon down here to go grab the eco upgrades, but it's not what this is about though. It's about trying to get that fast attack. There's a few things I would tweak if I play with this Civ again. I can't see it happening. I mean, Slater's was in the chat, so if he says he's watching the VOD back, something tells me I'm either not playing this map or I'm not playing this Civ on this map. There are other Civs, of course, that I can play with, but I want to go double barracks Giant Swordsman here. It's just such a big eco spike. It's such a big power spike in early Castle Age with this unit. And that's why I think the unit is just, or the Civ is just so good on the map. My mistakes were that I never got, and you're about to see it, I got Dry Dock, but I never got the upgrade, the warship upgrade. And that meant water was a problem. And water did not need to be that much of a problem because I was an age ahead the whole time. So, yeah, that was maybe a slight little mistake on my behalf, but I wanted to go forward and pressure. I didn't know where he was. You can use the water buffalo to scout a little bit more. I know that you're generally like directly opposite. So yeah, now I'm under there. He's taking out my fish, which is a small issue. But like, these Giant Swordsmen are broken. They're seriously just... They regenerate. The dudes, when they don't die, they regenerate. So you kind of just throw them under TCs. I've got... If we have a look at the upgrades here, TC does 5 pierce damage. This guy's got 3 armor at the moment. So if I get the second armor, they'd only be doing 1 damage a hit. So I try to run. He goes down sadly, but I'm just bringing in more. You can see there's more in queue. Yeah. In hindsight, I think I need to start with the warship upgrade because I don't want to lose my fish, because you see how quickly I need to transition to farms now because I lose my fish. So I'd like my fish to stay alive in an ideal world because he's gone heavy on the water. And he can actually add really good eco behind this, and you can see that with his fishing ship count. But he's also not able to click up at the moment. So, yeah. I get my lumber camp for double bit axe, which is good, but we're fighting away here. I'm just trying to pump out the Giant Swordsman. Game's definitely not won, but I had done... I had a little bit of a situation at home. Just had a bit of a loud bang. Yeah, archers don't do anything to these guys. They're actually like regenerating just as fast, almost, just as fast as they get hit by those archers. So we kind of just run around a little bit. I try to like fake attack the docks. Still trying to do a little bit on water. At this point, again, another thing I'd like to have changed was to come forward with a workshop instead of adding a TC. There was no need to go for the eco. I should have been adding the TC. I should have been adding the workshop and trying to be aggressive here. I get some bill kills. That made me happy. That made me happy because obviously I was a little bit worried that my attack was not getting the damage that it needed to. And you can see here, he's planning the longswords, which counter this unit, or knights, longswords or knights. But even then, like they're still very good units. They've got currently 9 attack and 3 melee armor. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong. My bad. The Giant Swordsman has got 2 modes. They have the tanky mode and the non-tanky mode. So the guy that had 2 base pierce armor was the guy that had lost a bunch of HP. But the guys that have their full HP have got 5 base pierce armor. I thought that 2 felt a bit low. So 5 base pierce armor means that archers with 5 attack or 4 attack do nothing. TCs, even when a TC gets bodkin, I get 1 armor upgrade, and then they're doing 1 damage to my Giant Swordsman. So you can run under town centers with 1 armor. That's why I was so quick to get that armor, because the Giant Swordsman, one armor sorts your Giant Swordsman out against pretty much every ranged unit in Castle Age. Maybe not Kembos from the Bohemians, I want to say. Because archers will do 7 damage. So unless you get something that does 8 pierce damage, you're only going to do 1 damage to these bad boys. They're crazy strong. But yeah, he's planning the longsword switch, which is the right thing to do, I think. But it's also something that the Italians don't get any bonus for. So I was happy. I'm happy for him to play longswords with the Italians here. And I'm just going to keep knocking on the door, to be honest. But yeah, I should have been knocking on the door with some siege as well. Some scorpions or something. But the res situation, you can see I'm actually up 13, 14 bills now. I've got two town centers moving. I have lost water, which is a bit unlike me and a bit, I guess, unlike him, especially when you consider the first game. I'm just going like, he's getting upgrades here. I want to batter this guy down. Blacksmith is good. I don't want a blacksmith involved anyway here. He actually does something good here. He sends his archers around. You're about to see them get some value. He's going to hold on to the blacksmith to get the second armor in. At this point as well, it's like, I have enough Giant Swordsmen to dive a TC if I really wanted to. And that's something I would think about as well. Like, almost just get enough, especially if my opponent doesn't get their fast castle build up right. Get enough Giant Swordsmen and just dive the town center and just take it out. Like, there's no need to sit around here anymore. Just go all out aggression. This value is annoying. Denies my next TC, which is quite good. But then again, like, these are feudal age archers. Like, 1 Giant Swordsman beats this. These guys are getting some value as well. They're fighting the vills. There's actually longswords in there as well. And yeah, this is where I start realizing I need to run a little bit with these guys because, well, he's got his armor. I've got great numbers, but as his numbers start increasing, I need to run away and do something else with my units. So he's found my TCs. He's down to 21 bills, which is a problem. I didn't realize that's how low the bill count was. I didn't realize I got that much damage. So you can see this fight here. I've got more HP, and more units, but that's how good the longswords are. They have such good shock infantry damage. So they got +6 bonus damage against the Jans. So the Jans get melted against a Civ that can go with this infantry. But as we can see, 22 vils to 49 meant that the eco was firmly in my advantage. And we got a nice little victory there, which means that we start this tournament off with a little 2-0, which is pretty good. Hopefully it means that alone is enough to stay in Division 2. Because again, it's only 3 weeks. 3 best of 3s in a 6-team, 6-player tournament. And then we redo the ladder, redo the divisions, and go for the next one. So it's good enough starts. Slaters and Hovolution are the next 2 for me. I haven't sorted out when those sets will be played yet. I'm not in any rush. to get them done. We're meant to play one set a week if we can, so I will look at getting one in for next week. Yeah, look at getting one in for next week, and then maybe one the week after. But yeah, hey, we got a win. We had a very nice situation. I'm not the best at Nomad maps, but I had practiced Stranded a little bit, so I was feeling all right. And I was actually prepping a castle here as well. I wanted to go to stone. You can't really do much with, like, there's not a lot of stone, so actually getting a castle is hard. But I think you just either go 1 TC, you take all the stone and you buy 100 with gold, or you go to 2 stone mines. But it's a bit annoying. Maybe you need to like TC here or something, because some of the stones, they're in 1 tile patches, which is really good. So that like nerfs your standard, your typical nomad civs. So your Portuguese, your Spanish, even your Berbers, those that rely on the castle drop, the fast castle drop, doesn't quite work as well because you only have 1 tile stone. Ladder Stranded has 2 tiles of stone, so it doesn't matter. You can still get that first castle down really easily. But this version, a bit harder. But hey, there it was. That was the situation on hand. We did very, very well. We did well enough. Certainly some things looking at it back to improve on. Very happy with my build here. Like, I just... The Woo builds, it feels so good. I actually want to go back and look at some of the pros to see what their situation was 14 minutes into a game or something, because I was up at the right time. Let's just pause at the point where I'm up with like res collected. That was amazing. And a few things I would change here about the way I'd line this up. Like, I probably wouldn't get the barracks, and I'd definitely be prioritizing the upgrade. I'd want to get the ship upgrade, fires out of 2 docks, dry dock, careening. Like, careening not as important, but careening to get dry dock I like. And then win water, because then that means I don't need to go to farms. I can add my own extra fish, another dock around the sides, and then look towards a second barracks, or even just have the 1 barracks production and go forward with a siege workshop. But there's a few different ways that I'd like to tweak that, whether it's Woo or otherwise. But the smoothness, it was so smooth at the start. And yeah, just a big fan of what we had there. Maybe at the higher levels, the Jarn Swordsman just gets stopped too easily, and that's why they don't use the Woo. But I just think for the level we're at, and we kind of saw it here, you get those numbers up, and they just run everywhere.